What if the most powerful moments don't arrive with noise, but with silence? What if all it takes is one calm glance, one softly framed photo, one quiet presence to make the entire world pause? Because that's exactly what happened when Jin appeared again. No countdown, no teaser, no warning, just 2 selfies, uploaded quietly to Weverse. And suddenly, time slowed. Jin stood there with black hair resting naturally, dressed in a striped shirt, a neatly placed tie, and soft knitwear. Nothing excessive, nothing forced. Yet somehow everything felt deliberate, effortless, refined. The kind of elegance that doesn't ask for attention but receives it anyway. Fans didn't just look, they felt. His long lashes framed deep, expressive double eyelids. His eyes, clear, sparkling, almost gentle, carried a calm confidence that reached straight through the screen. That perfectly balanced noseline, full lips that seemed to hold 1,000 unspoken emotions. A small, slender face that somehow blends purity with maturity in a way only Jin can. It wasn't just beauty, it was atmosphere. And the reaction was immediate. Perfect. He looks innocent, but also so dandy. Because Jin exists in that rare space between softness and strength, between warmth and elegance, between boyish charm and timeless sophistication. And this is what makes the moment so powerful. This isn't a man trying to impress. This is Jin simply being, and that alone is enough to shake the internet. But if you zoom out, if you step back and look at the bigger picture, those selfies tell a much deeper story. Because the man captivating hearts with a quiet photo is the same man who just conquered the world on his own terms. Last year, Jin embarked on something monumental, his first ever solo fan concert and his first solo world tour, Run Sok Jin Tour. 18 performances, 9 cities. From late June to mid-August, he stood alone on massive stages, carrying not just his voice, but the expectations, emotions, and love of fans across the globe. And he didn't just meet those expectations. He shattered them. Night after night, Jin proved that his power doesn't rely on numbers. It comes from connection, from sincerity, from vocals that don't just fill stadiums, but reach straight into the heart. The global industry took notice. Polestar, one of the most influential concert ranking platforms in the world, placed Jin's tour in the top 20 global concert tours based on average box office revenue per city. A record-breaking achievement. One that marked a new chapter for Asian soloists on the global stage. Then came Billboard, July's top tour monthly chart. And again in August, re-entering the chart with just 4 performances. 4 nights in London and Amsterdam were all it took for Jin to set another historic milestone. The highest European tour revenue ever achieved by a Korean solo artist. 4 nights, 2 cities, history rewritten. And still, Jin wasn't finished telling his story. He returned home for the encore concerts at Incheon Munhak Stadium, transforming one of the largest venues into something intimate and emotional. The air felt heavier, voices trembled. Fans didn't just watch, they felt every note, every word, every glance. It wasn't just a concert, it was a gift. Media across the world responded with rare praise. Rolling Stone UK awarded Jin's world tour a perfect 5-star rating, calling him a truly one-of-a-kind, unrivaled entertainer. Not just a performer, but an artist who understands how to connect, how to move people, how to leave something behind. And for those who couldn't be there in person, Jin made sure no one was left out. Run Sok Jin EP, Tour the Movie brought his live vocals, raw emotion, and unforgettable moments to theaters worldwide. Fans walked in with excitement and walked out emotional, replaying his voice in their minds long after the screen went dark. So when Jin shares a simple selfie, it's never just a photo. It's a quiet reminder of who he is. A global artist who can sell out stadiums but still feel close. A record breaker who remains gentle. A man whose elegance doesn't shout, but lingers. Some artists shine brightest under spotlights. Jin shines, even in silence. And maybe that's why a single selfie can feel just as powerful as a world tour. Because when Jin appears, the world doesn't need noise to notice. It just feels.